talk to me a little bit about the CARES Act that was passed by Congress. Could you give me a little SparkNotes summary of the CARES Act and maybe some of what Marylanders have been asking you about the CARES Act?
Yeah. So I'll give you a bird's eye view of the whole thing, because there's a ton of stuff in there and a lot of stuff we can be really proud of. There's $150 billion for healthcare and for the hospitals and for the healthcare providers, so that we're getting the personal protective equipment to the frontline health providers, so that we're getting ventilators into the hospitals. And so we are getting the money into the hospital systems and the public health authorities we need in order to hire people and to pay people decent wages, so they don't just walk off the job because it's not worth it to them. There is in here $260 billion for the unemployment insurance system. This is really critical for people to know. We lost 3 million jobs in the first week of kind of lockdown precautions at the beginning of March. And we've lost, it must be over 10 million jobs now, but millions and millions of people are losing jobs at an unprecedented rate through no fault of their own. And I'm very proud that the unemployment insurance provisions that we put in will allow for people to receive benefits not at 40 or 50% of what they were earning, which was basically the average around the country, but 100% of what they're earning for the next 3 to 4 months, whatever it was your state was doing. You would be able to get essentially 100% because of an extra $600 a week that Congress put in. Now it'll be distributed through the states and through the state unemployment insurance system. It might be 2 checks or it might be one bigger check. It's up to the state, and Maryland has not yet announced whether people will be getting, one unemployment check from the state and then another just from the feds of the $600 a week, or it might be all combined. But in addition to that, we've added an extra 13 weeks to extend this whole payment, this whole nearing 100% payment for people. So this should take care of people, depending on your specific situation, for 6 to 9 months, depending on how long you've been working and so on and so forth. And the thing that I'm really proud about, and I'm hoping that this becomes an historic change within unemployment benefits, is it applies not just to people who are on a monthly salary, but people who are self-employed and file 1099s, independent contractors, consultants, people in the gig economy. All of these people will be able to collect unemployment benefits because they were working too, and they were being productive, and they were paying taxes. And just because they don't have a boss doesn't mean that they're not essentially thrown out of work by virtue of what's happened. So I'm very proud and impressed that we were able to get this done in the House of Representatives, and we had to fight with the Senate about it. There's been a difference in philosophy about the whole thing. I mean, the Democratic-controlled House has really fought for a bottom-up approach to this. We also fought for hundreds of millions of dollars for small business. And we are allowing for forgiveness of existing small business loans, the 7A loans, during this period, so people don't have to pay anything on existing loans. But more importantly, there's a $10,000 emergency grant that small businesses and not-for-profits can collect. And there's an additional loan available to businesses up to $10 million. Most small businesses won't be eligible for that much. It's determined by the size of your payroll. So it's 2.5 times what your monthly payroll is. So if you bring in and you show SBA, you've got a payroll of $100,000 a month, you would be eligible for $250,000. So you'd be able to get $250,000 relatively easily, far more easily than you'd be able to get the general SBA loan, because Congress has wanted to get this money out into the small business sector, understanding what a crisis and what an emergency it is. So I'm very happy about what we've been able to do for small business and what we've been able to do for unemployment insurance, the money going into the healthcare system. You've probably heard that there will be a $1,200 check going to most Americans. If you earn $75,000 or less, you will get a $1,200 payment plus $500 for kids under the age of 18. If you earn over $75,000, you will get something. The money begins to decrease, going down to, I think it's at 112,500 where it stops. We assume that people are doing okay. Of course, if you make a good salary of $150,000 and you're thrown out of work, you can go immediately for the unemployment insurance. And again, you're going to receive something close to your complete salary during the course of this crisis for many months. So we've made a very serious investment befitting the catastrophic economic circumstances that follow from this public health nightmare that we're in.